X number of years ago, a few years ago, I was very ill. I thought I was going to die. And when that happened, you know, they said no atheists in foxholes. I was always a spiritual person, got to be more that way. And I love that space. And I practice discipline by going to daily Mass and communion. I'll watch programs on television dealing with theology and that. I love the International Rosary, and I travel throughout the world. And I really love Mary and the Rosary as a prayer for peace in the world. And so last month I actually had to borrow like $500 just to make my mortgage payments, so I wouldn't be 4 months behind, which means goodbye studio. And when I saw this suggestion of this imagery, which is based on living water, it was like, do this painting, and the message was, your problems will be solved, or your present problems will be over. And when I started this, the next day I received verification of a $7,000 sale, and that will give me more breathing room for a while. And there's another pending sale too. And I couldn't figure out, well, how could a paint of this help me with my situation? It's not something that somebody's going to covet or want in their home, but it's the act of doing it. And I commented here that my present financial problem will be over, and I wondered how the paint will do that. The day after I started the work, I received verification of a $7,000 art sale and positive news of another. People have interfered with my sales. I mean,
did you have any left?
I made a lot of money. I mean, going from where some quarter sell close to $140,000 in 3 months to nothing. I know my email was hacked, and I think my telephone back then was also interfered with. I had an ad running, and I always get calls on my ads. I'd get called, I'd pick up the phone, and it would be cut off. That would also happen when I'd receive notices about different programs dealing with homework that possibly could help me. That would also be cut out. And I think there was an attempt made at ostracizing me too, to keep people out of here. And it didn't bother me a bit, because I was totally enwrapped in doing what I enjoy, which is writing my spiritual songs, and I offer them up as prayer for different people, doing prayer paintings and other things. I was just in a neat spiritual space, and God really took care of me as far as whenever things were getting a little bit tight, boom, something would happen, literally out of the blue. He almost spoiled me in that respect. And here I commented on that, though on my homepage section I have a place called Does God Operate in Mysterious Ways? Wow, it seems to affect others without devious intentions. Because one time I was being sued for $17,000. I won't go into the detail of it, but it was after I paid like close to $1 million in rent, and I wanted to barter while I was ill. I was laid up, and it didn't happen. And so the gentleman was suing me. I picked up my son. I gave him a ride to go to a psychological counselor he was going to visit with. And somebody on the street gave him a Gideon Bible, and it had the New Testament and the Psalms, and I like those, the New Testament, and primarily I really enjoy the words of Christ inscribed and read in the Bible somebody gave me 40 years ago. And those are the words that I hunger for mostly, and they're so clear and beautiful. You almost can't misinterpret those. And I said, look up number 28. I was looking for the 23rd Psalm, because that I walk through the valley of death. I walk by green water. I can't remember how good, but you may know it. Very popular one. And 28 said, if anybody does any damage to you, it'll come back to them manyfold. And I said, well, try 22. It's still the wrong one. And He went in for a session, and I spent 45 minutes going, starting at 1, working my way through, and I found the 23rd. The next day, front page of the local paper, the individual who was suing me committed suicide at the same time I was searching the Psalms. But once again, that's kind of like a negative thing in a way, in reference to, but the timing was so unique. And down here I get into, I'm going to ask you to pray for a patient, a member of St. Angela's Parish, Sandra Marie Crockett. She's having an operation to remove a cancerous tumor Friday, which was yesterday, at 3:30 p.m. Pray that she'll have the courage to follow up with radiation that is frightening to her. While she was at my home, she was too weak to sit up, so she reclined while I started this painting. And she was not aware at the time that it was going to be a prayer painting for her welfare. My approach to working with people who are ill, I'm not one of these lay your hands on them and you're instantly cured. I'm Mr. Patience, like the lady who needed the double lung transplant. I started that prayer painting in October and was working on it right into May with patience and belief. And she again is doing well. I did that with another lady a long time ago. On a lighter note, I'm attaching a new song that will have you think of Father Paul, another church leader of Irish descent. And the song is called May the Bible Be Your Blarney Stone. I put it on, attach it to the email. And how about including Pastor Paisley from Ireland and Pastor Kelly from the First Baptist Church in Mississippi. They have a wonderful choir with more choir members than we have people at Sunday's church. It was a magnificent choir. And the sermon was really cool. It seemed like, I drew another parallel here where he was watching a football game that was pre-broadcast or something or another, and later they had a radio cast of that game that was on later. And he's driving along with a friend from one point to another, and he knew who was going to win. And his team was way behind, and the other gentlemen, they were young people at the time, and made him a bet as to who would win. And the Pastor Kelly, obviously Irish, knew who was going to win, and he won the bet anyway. But I think it's the same way with his sermons. He knows who's going to win there too. And if you listen to good homilies and take what they have to say there, they'll help you. Well, anyway, do pray for Sandra and all the other people who have cancer, and may they make new breakthroughs, and they are doing that for different cancer cures. Well, you have a good day. Take care. God bless you. The last video had to do with Christ's 5 most sacred wounds. And I had suggested that when people are killed in gang violence or things of that nature, that they do a novena of 5 rosaries on the spot and invite more people to pray with them. Focus on Christ's 5 most sacred wounds.